Today I'm demonstrating a full face of makeup, get ready with me style from the Beginner Drugstore Makeup Starter Kit. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I'm excited for today's video because we're finally here. This is the Get Ready With Me step-by-step tutorial using all the products in the Beginner Makeup Drugstore Starter Kit that I posted in the last video. If you missed that, make sure you catch it. This is actually part 2 of a 2-part series where I'm walking through what I think is the best makeup starter kit for us over 50 gals with mature skin. I've got every product on my face and I show how you use them exactly in this video. But if you want to learn more about each product, make sure you catch part 1 of this series. That will be very helpful for you. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. As I said, I'm going to be demonstrating Get Ready With Me style this face of makeup utilizing all the products from the Beginner Drugstore Makeup Starter Kit that I put together. If you're interested in the full list, you'll be able to download it over at prettyover50.com. I created a downloadable printable PDF. You can put it on your phone, you can print it out, whatever is the most useful and helpful for you so you can keep it with you when you're picking out the products that you want to get started with. I'm going to be whipping through this full face of makeup pretty quickly today, not talking too much about the products because I already did that in part 1. If there is a step in this makeup routine that you're confused about or you'd like to see a little bit more detailed video on, make sure you put it in the comments down below and I will absolutely get that done. As I stated in the first video, I'm doing an entire full face so that you can pick and choose which products you're interested in trying. Maybe you've fallen out of the makeup game for many years and you're just now getting back in and you don't want to start with a full face of makeup. Maybe you just want a little foundation to even out your skin tone and some blush to give you some rosy glow. That's perfectly fine. What I did is I put together a full face so that you'll be able to pick and choose what products that you want to start with. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Again, if you have questions or if you want to see a more detailed explanation of any part of this process, put it in the comments down below and I'll put that on my upcoming video list. And with that, let's get started. I have my face all prepped with my serums and moisturizers and of course my sunscreen. And for those of you who are new, I'll go ahead and link my AM skincare routine right up here in case you haven't seen it. And I'll also put it down below in the description box. What I have on my lips is the Nivea Blackberry. This was in my favorites for last month. If you haven't seen that, I'll go ahead and link that as well. This stuff is the bomb. That's when my lips are all hydrated and rosy looking. I'm going to start in with Milani Eyeshadow Primer, just a tiny bit on my finger, and I'm going to share that between both eyelids. Then I'm going to go in with Revlon Photoready Primer. I love this stuff. Just a little, like a pump and a half on the back of my hand right here, and that will do my whole face. And I always try to make sure that I get some underneath each eye so that it really holds on to my under eye concealer. While those primers are setting down, that's when I do my eyebrows. And when I sit down to my table first thing in the morning, my eyebrows have a lot of serums and moisturizers and stuff in them, so they're kind of goopy. What I do is I just take a little bit of tissue and I sort of just clean both eyebrows, trying to get all those moisturizing products out of the hairs. Then I go in with my Coty Airspun powder and take a small crease brush and tap it into that powder. And then I'll just smooth that over my eyebrows on both sides to kind of give my eyebrows a little bit of tooth for my eyebrow pencil. Go in with a spoolie and just brush my eyebrows a bit and then start filling them in. This is the Wet n Wild retractable pencil. I really love this. It does a great job on my brows and it's super quick. I'm going to start in with eyeshadow now and use the Milani Modern Matte. I'm going to take a shadow brush from Real Techniques and tap it into this creamy color right here, and that's going to go over both lids. I like using this thicker brush because I can cover a lot of area quickly. Now I'm going to take a crease brush from Profusion and dip into this transition color right here, get some on my brush, and then I'm going to tap it off so it doesn't end up on my face. And the way that I'm going to place this crease color is I'm going to leave my eyes relaxed and start working into that area right above my crease and lay down that color. If I lift my eyebrows up and go inside the crease, you're never going to see it because my eyes are very, very wrinkly. So I have to kind of create a crease above my natural crease to give some depth. And once I have that laid in up there, then I'll go down into the actual crease of my eye and bring that color down. And then I'll bring it in from the outside as well to create a little bit of depth in that outside corner. Once I have that transition color laid down, I'll go back in with a big fluffy brush and just blend out all those edges so it's a smooth transition from the creamy shade I put down initially to the darker transition shade. And I find that as I've gotten older, the more I blend, the better things turn out. So I spend probably twice as much time blending as I do applying shadow. Once I have that transition shade all blended in, I'm going to go in with a smaller detail eyeshadow brush and tap it into this darker color right here. Get a little bit on my brush, and that's going to go in the outside corner of my eye and up into the crease and above the crease. And this is going to give me kind of a lifted look on the outside corner of my eye. You can see how that looks before I blend it in. I've moved it up to the outside edge of my eye, a little bit towards my eyebrow, and a little bit into the crease. Now I'm going to go back in with that blending brush and blend it all in together. So I don't want to move that darker color in too much. I just mainly want to soften the edges into that transition color and over onto my lid. These Milani shadows are so nice. They're so easy to blend and work with. To finish off the eyes, I'm going to go in with a flat brush, tap it into that cream color, and I'm going to run it right underneath my eyebrows, just in that small area above the crease color and right underneath my brow. And this is going to tend to lift the eye and lift that brow up a little bit. And then I'm going to take some on the flat plane of the brush and just tap that over my lid to brighten up that movable lid. That's it for the eyes for right now. I'm going to go in now with the Covergirl Matte Made Foundation. Put about a pump and a half on the back of my hand. I just dot that around my face with my finger. Now I'm going to go in with my beaky sponge and start working that in. This foundation blends in so easily and leaves such a nice finish on the skin. It does a pretty good job of covering up my age spots on either side of my face, although halfway through the day they'll start peeking through. Next I'll be using the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the color Brightener, and I use a tiny little brush with this. You see that I pulled off that sponge tip. I don't care for that sponge tip at all. I'll take this tiny little brush and I just sort of dab it into it, and I place my concealer in a couple of places. Inside the corners of my eyes where I have fat pads that create a shadow there, bless aging, and of course down underneath where I have dark circles under my eyes. And I try to use as little as possible to get the job done, because the less I have on my aging skin, the better things seem to look. I start tapping it out with my finger, and then I'll go back in with the pointed tip of that beaky sponge and really blend it out. Now it's time to jump into bronzer. I'm using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I take my big bronzer brush and just tap it in, and I'll start placing that around my face, and then I go back to blend it. I like to place it right on my cheekbone, not underneath, because I want my cheekbones to look higher because everything else on my face is lower. I like to contour my forehead as well, and then down underneath my chin. Makes my chin look a little firmer than it actually is. Once I have that bronzer placed all around my face, I go back in with a big fluffy brush. This is from e.l.f. and I blend it all out. And the nice thing about this Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula is that it blends in so beautifully. It just doesn't leave any harsh lines. It's really a beautiful glowy look. Now I'm going to go in with a CoverGirl blush in Soft Mink. Take my Real Techniques brush, just tap it in, get some product on my brush, tap it off, And then I like to place it on the upstairs area of my cheeks because my cheeks are lower than they used to be. So if I put it on the apple of my cheeks, you can see when I'm smiling, my cheek is up here. Now watch what happens when I don't smile. I don't want the blush to be down there. So I always put it on what I call the upstairs area of my cheeks. And almost up into the temple. Once I have that blush placed, I go back in with my big fluffy brush again from e.l.f. and I blend that all out. Blending is a huge part of mature makeup. Now I'm going to go in with highlighter. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome. I love this highlighter. I have a lot of expensive highlighters. I still prefer this one. I'm going to take an angled brush, tap it into that highlighter, tap it off, and then I'm just going to put that on the side area right above my cheekbone, trying not to get into the middle of my crow's feet. It's a balancing act. And just a little bit on the front of my cheeks right at the top. Then with what you have left on the brush, you can just kind of brush it at the top of your eyebrows. That kind of just gives a little glow up there. Back in with that big fluffy brush to blend, blend, blend. Now I'm going to take my e.l.f. HD powder and a small angle brush, going to tap it into that powder, and then I'm just going to set my under eyes very gently. And I always like to make sure that the bristles of the brush are facing upward so I really get underneath my lower lashes. Then I'm going to take what's left on that brush and just tap it on my nose and a little bit down into my marionette lines where my foundation seems to want to move around and have a party all on its own. To give a final bit of glow to the complexion, I'm going to use the Milani Prep Set and Glow. I love this product. I think it's my favorite product ever. It's a drugstore product, great price point, and it does such a beautiful job of just giving this most softest, most beautiful glow on your skin. So I take another big fluffy brush, just run it around in there, tap it off, and then I just very gently run that around my face. And it just adds the most beautiful, healthy, glowy sheen. That's it for the complexion for now. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe setting spray. I love this stuff. It's an aerosol, and just lightly set my foundation. I'm going to go back in and finish up the eyes. I'm going to start with the Rimmel Exaggerate liner, and I'm going to tight line underneath my top lashes. If you haven't done this before, that's okay. It's easy to learn. You're simply going to take this liner and run it right underneath the upper lashes, right below them, and it really creates a very, very distinctive line and emphasis to your lashes. And I'll show you the difference between the two when I get done with this side. You can see the difference already between this side and this side. This side just looks more defined. For mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Unlimited. This is my favorite mascara ever, ever, ever. I don't care the price point. It's absolutely fabulous. I love it. Just start with one easy coat on my lashes. And I like to do one eye at a time, as you can obviously see. With the eyes all done, I'm going to go in with lips. I'm going to be using the NYX lip liner in Nude Suede Shoes and the Baddest Beige from Maybelline. This is a beautiful neutral lip combination. Here we have the finished look. I want to thank you for joining me for this beginner drugstore makeup starter kit. This was a lot of fun to do, and I hope that you found it helpful. Remember, you don't have to do an entire full face. Just pick and choose the products that are working for you, and I think that you'll be able to find exactly what you need in the product list. If you haven't seen part 1, hop on over there and I'll link it down below so that you can see a full outline of the products that I suggest for us older gals with more mature skin. And if you like a complete list of all the products, you can download it over at prettyover50.com. So it's really easy. You can put it on your phone or print it out or whatever is the most helpful for you. If you found this video informative, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. It just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.